thing we try to do is just simple and easy. We let our athletes be athletic. So with setting and hitting, what we want is we want to pass tempo to the pin where our kids can get up in the air and make decisions. So we don't really teach arm swings that much, even though we're going to go over it. What we do is we allow the setter in the area that's about a 3-foot area from the antenna in. She can set this quick set in, and our hitters have to get the feet to the ball to be able to make multiple shots around the block. All right, that is the basis of our offense. So the way that we train it at the beginning of practice is a lot of drills to work our feet to the ball. Okay, so we will build up the drill that we warm up with. So we'll do that. So partner and ball. I'm going to do the ball. Trying to think of the best way to hit so the balls don't go everywhere. All right, so normally we don't have stuff at the end of the gym. So we would empty all of our ball cards one way, but that is not going to work. So let's do this. Let's have one person over, and then we're going to put the ball down, go behind and out. So this is just to save some space. All right, so what we're going to do is, sorry, what's your name? Lance. Awesome. So Lance is going to toss the L. L, you're going to pass to yourself and then hit the ball to the net. Super easy. Okay. Once you do, then you will just go off. Okay. Lance, you are always going to. No, that's fine. Lance, you come back here. Okay, and just filter through. When we talk about getting our feet to the ball, what we have to do is we have to be able to frame, okay, and get our hips around so we are facing where we want to hit. So right now, we're trying to hit straight on. Okay, so when we pass to ourselves, okay, as a right-hander, you're going to frame your hips around so you can rotate through. Okay, everyone likes to do it. What usually happens, even in our gyms, when they pass to themselves, what usually happens is they just square and kind of like slap at it. Okay, even our kids in the gym. So we really have to fight. Okay, so you're going to pass to herself. Okay, and then fight really hard to frame, open, and pull through. Perfect. And then what we do is we just kind of rotate through. Okay. As we continue to go, this should be just like right on you. As we rotate through, okay, and as we go a couple times, then what we'll do is we will pass ourselves. Perfect. So Lance did the next thing we're going to do. We're going to pass ourselves to the right. Okay, then get our feet to the ball and frame. Okay, and swing through. Nope, stay on the right side. Okay. That's a really work passing yourself to the right. Good, and after you go through a couple times, you're going to pass yourself to the left. For right-handers, this is the hardest thing because you have to get over your shoulder and fight really hard. Good, to get your hips around, so you're not letting them all the feet where you're sitting. Good. Then as we go, instead of hitting straight, Ryan, move to 5. We're going to hit cross court, so still pass to your left, fight hard to get your body around, frame high. Perfect. And hold balls. All right, so if you have a lot of kids and you have room where the balls can kind of go, what we do is we put everyone in a line. Ryan, can you toss over? One line. We'll see what these balls are. All right, so what we're going to do is we toss in 4 different ways. Okay, so what we like to do is we like to have our hitters move. So we're going to toss forward and to the right. So we're going to have shuffle, get your feet around the ball, stop, make contact. All right, so everyone's going to go short to the right, good, short to the right, good, short to the right. Hit that bottom ball so I don't get in trouble. Short to the right. Good. Then what we'll do is we'll go short to the left. Okay, so fight really hard to get your feet to the ball. Good. Don't let the ball dictate where you're going. Good. Hold on. So what will happen, and it happens when we're jumping too, balls that are set past us, our kids lean, and then they just hit where their momentum's going, which is usually out of bounds. And so this is the drill that really works it well because the ball's going to go over your shoulder, so you have to fight hard to get your hips around. Hit the bottom ball for me. Perfect. Good. So, and so the last 2 angles we do not going to do it right now, is we go back to the left, back to the right. So that's all the ways that we can move getting our feet to the ball, okay? Why we do this is the drill that we warm up with. Give me 3 people over there, left and the right. So we play triples, and we play triples a lot of different ways, okay? Let's just assume we have 3 people over here too. What this is called is 3-on-3 2-touch. So we play just like queens. Okay, so you have a winner side, you have a loser side. Okay, whoever wins the point rotates, but you're only allowed 2 touches. Okay, so first ball is played. Actually, you know what? I'll come over here. Make this really hard for you guys. So in our gym, we do 3-on-3. Let's try this with 2 people. Okay, so 2 touches on each side. Godspeed, Godspeed. Okay, so 2 touches on each side. Okay, we have to work hard. You can stay on the ground now. But make sure that we're working hard good to get our hips around the ball so the ball doesn't dictate where we're going. Good, 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 good. Good, so the ball that Elle just hit was on her left shoulder and was reaching across her body. Good, she fixed it where she fought all the way around it. So with a high number of people, and especially like to play queens, because you have a little more randomness to this. What we like to do to add to this is if they get a free ball, then they would jump and attack, which we're not going to do right now. Okay, so it gives them a little bit of incentive to not just send free balls over the net, but we're working hard to get our feet around to the ball, even though we're on the ground. Score everything, so we're trying to be competitive as possible, not trying to get easy balls to each other. And one more. So if you have a gym that is able to do this, even if it looks ugly, I would try to push them this way. If they just fundamentally don't know how to get their feet to the ball, I started 18 club teams, which is tossing, heading, moving, standing the ground, down ball. All right, so you can progress it from as low as you want all the way to this. We can do this every week, okay, at Western. So that is a drill that we use to get our feet to the ball, okay? Great job, guys. I can come over here and take a break for a second. All right, so when we talk about attacking in our gym, we talk about in-system and out-of-system. There's some talks tomorrow that talk about this, so we'll kind of glance over it, but any ball that our hitter can dictate where she wants to hit, we call it system, regardless of the set. Okay, and there's a really hard idea for our kids to handle because if they see, if they see this ball, they're like, oh, that's not a system, I can only hit one thing, deep cross. But if they can get their feet to the ball and light up line, awesome. Okay, if they can do it, and they can show us they can do it, that ball's in the system then. All right, so just give me a line outside. All right, so in our gym, we set fast, probably faster than most people set. So that's why we like this concept of what is in system to you. So what is in system to Bree might be different than what's in system to Elle, okay? So for right now, what I want us to do, I want us to jump and catch, okay? That's it, jump and catch. Good, we're working on getting our feet to the ball. Good. Good. And even though we're jumping, catching, still pull your arm back so we're framing, so we're looking like we're swinging. Good. Great job, guys. All right, so what Lance just did is what we're looking for, where we jump. So if we're jumping and catching, we still want to make a game like we're pulling our arm back. What will happen, because we're catching, it's not game like, we're going to go up like basketball players. Okay, so make sure that our girls are really pulling their arm back. 2 more times, guys. I like it. Good, so from here you can press a jump and tip. Good, and I want us to tip right into 3, right into the middle of the court. Middle court. Good, because right now that's where we're facing. Good, we're taking this really strong approach, facing across court. The reason for us is because every out-of-system swing, don't tell Central, every out-of-system swing, we hit deep cross. Okay, if our kids feel like they have one shot, they're going to hit as hard as they can, deep cross. Okay? The goal in our gym is to train them, toss it in the same time. The goal in our gym is to train them that even if they get a ball that they don't like, that they can still turn and hit line. All right, so now turn and tip line. Good. Good. So we're still working on framing. One more so we don't kill you guys. So we're working on framing, facing across, and rotating into a line. All right, so when we talk to our kids about decisions of what they want to do when they're attacking, okay, most teams that we see will hit cross effectively and hit line ineffectively. Okay, my guess is in your team, your kids will hit cross effectively and will err when they hit line. Okay, just statistically what happens. So how we train our kids is we train them hit cross. They get really bored with that. You guys will get really bored with that. So what we also tell them to do is attack the edge of the block. So if, just stand here. Oh, we got noodles. This. So we train our kids to not be afraid of the block. The highest air swing for an outside is when they turn line to try to miss the block. Okay, statistically, that's the worst shot imaginable that they can take. What we want them to do is we want them to challenge the outside hand. So put noodles up to resemble, the outside of the block. So now you guys can go up and swing. Okay, but I want you guys to hit the noodles. Okay? Good. That's a good swing, but he missed the noodle. Good swing. Good swing, still missed the noodle. Okay, so one thing that this will help your kids do, especially, stand on a second. Okay, one thing that this will help your kids do is get their vision away from the ball to the other side of the court. For us, where kids are, let's say you have an all-state libero standing in left back. That is the last thing that our hitters should be thinking about, because they need to figure out tempos of the ball, then they need to see the block and make a decision. And what we are telling our hitters is, look, if you guys get a split block, you should score. If you guys get a double block, you better either go cross or attack the edges. And then if all that fails, then go get to libero. But we normally never get to that point. Good, and stop. Great job, guys. Because if we effectively attack the edges, we are going to score really no matter what. So we will do this with both pins, okay, where we'll rep them through now. You can do it off of a toss. You can progress them to do it on the serve receive so they can transition out to attack. You can do it in all phases of the game. I would start with working on one phase of the game. So in our gym, we spend 2 weeks out of serve receive, just figuring out this is a 4-step approach out of system, this is a 3-step approach in the system. Okay, then we progress to just transition. This is off block. How do I transition off and still fight my momentum, keep the ball in play? And then we layered it. So this week what we did is we had the girls in service team. For you to do this. So we have the stand on the other side. So Bree, you're gonna hit 2 balls. Okay, so had the girls on the service team. You said? That's what I like to do. Alright, so Bree's going to pass to attack. And all the good stuff we just worked on, you train your kids on. As soon as she lands, then she'll go back and block. Good, and then she'll layer it. So now we have a transition ball. Good. So Bree has to pass to herself. Okay, pass to attack. Good job. Alright, so you guys can layer. My guess is most gyms rush through these. So really hone down the serve receive, rep it, hone down the transition, rep it, but get to game situations as fast as possible. Okay, we always love to layer to get different looks. Okay, to build on that, one drill that we did today, give me someone passing out a left back. skill set. And then Bree, you're here. All right, so Bree is going to be the person that dictates what's going on. She can either pass perfect, okay, so transition out to attack, an in-system ball, so you can hit wherever you want, okay? Or Bree's going to pass to herself and one set, not a system ball, okay? If you feel it's out of system, light up sharp cross, okay? All right, so let's see. So Bree gets a dictating drill. Good, and we don't tell Bree what to do, so good. And then, so the next hitter, so what will happen is after you hit, he goes down, lands good. So we keep everyone fresh. Always hitting lands, always hitting. It's okay. Good, so when we break position groups, we'll have outside. What we'll do is we'll have one outside dictating the drill. Okay, all the rest of them are outside rotating through. So they got to decide now, in system, out of system. Okay, make decisions, get your feet to the ball. And then what do we actually do? Good. So hold on real quick. That's a great example. So even though, what's your name? Mike. All right, so even though Mike effectively made that shot, okay, in our gym we would say, what's the better decision on that particular ball? Whereas way inside, we struggle to get our feet to the ball. The answer is it's out of system, hard as you can, sharp cross. Okay, if Mike shows us repeatedly that he can make that shot, then that's the system for him. And that is a really tough thing for athletes to figure out. Because they'll look at someone and be like, well, why is my in-system analysis not the same? Okay, so we try to make our kids as comfortable as possible. We want them to succeed, give them opportunities to succeed. All right, one more time. Good. Good, so the way that you layer this drill is you would add 3 passers. So now both wings are hitting. Elbert, can you switch for me so we don't kill you? All right, so you would have 3 across. So now Lance and Elle are hitting. Okay, but it's the same thing. And so dictating tempo, so either pass the target so you can look in system, okay, or pass yourself, okay, and then sets so you're out of system. Good. So, great job. So this is assuming that in your gym you've established what you want your out of system to be, tempo what you want your in system to be, okay, and then you can progress to drills like this that are more combo, okay. The way that we progress this in our gym is that we'll add blockers, so then they have to actually deal with live block. Okay, then we will progress to live sits on the far side. So now on this side of the net, we're working on one skill set. Okay, on the other side of the net, we're now working on different skill. Okay, then we can progress this to someone serving at these 3, okay, instead of just tossing the ball to them. So now, instead of having one person dictating what's going on, now they actually have to read the pass. They will try to pass well, but if not, then it turns into an out of system. So you can take one concept and just layer it to get the same effect, but we always try to make it as game-like as possible. Any questions? All right. I think that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Great job.